Hey, welcome back. This is day 3 of critiquing my own art. Just a little background before we begin. This piece was one of my first OC pieces that I ever drew up. I don't really have a lot of OCs, so this one was a little special to me. I did this piece not long after the Icarus piece that I mentioned in my last video, in case you want to go check that one out. This was also near the beginning of when I stopped using line art. So let's jump right into it. The first thing I notice is just this big old area with the neck and the hair. The neck is way too long, and I feel like the hair just elevates how long the neck is, especially being because it's not pushed back behind the shoulder. The next thing I notice is the lighting, especially on the face, hands, and clothes. This seems to be a bit of a trend with my older pieces. I also notice how the fingers here are way too long, and I definitely need to shorten those. Along with the lighting, the clothes aren't exactly rendered correctly. I still have trouble nowadays rendering clothes, and I hope to work on that in the future. I'm gonna start doing some, fashion studies, and we'll see how that goes. And finally, the little pieces of hair here and the lighting on the shoulder just make no sense at all. With all that said, let's jump into the repaint. As you can see, one of the biggest things that I wanted to work on was rendering with the face. It's probably what I spent most of my time on with this repaint. The main things that were bothering me with the face were the weird coloring on the ear, as well as the lighting, and then the way that I put the blush on there was really, really odd. I think in that point in time, I didn't really understand how to structure the face well, so the nose was also left a little crooked. It definitely wasn't straight. I then proceed to fix the lips and then continue shading on the other side of the face. After that, I move on to the hands. As I said before, the fingers are way too long and the lighting on the hands was really weird. The rendering wasn't quite right either. One of the things that you should really keep in mind whenever you draw hands is that most of the time the inside or palm of your hands is usually a bit more redder or pinkish than the outside or the top of your hands. Considering that's what I'm mostly showing off, I decided to redden the tips of the fingers especially, and then later on the rest of the palm. I then go on to render out the clothes a little bit and fix the lighting, and then start painting in the shoulder so I can get the hair to not elevate that neck like I was talking about earlier. I don't usually like to move around my pieces or sections of the pieces in my art, but it was really bothering me, the length of the neck, so I do end up resizing the head a little bit, making it a little bit bigger and bringing it down quite a bit. And then I have to repaint a good section of the hair and the fingers. You can also see that I kind of forgot to remove the original. I had both of the layers up for the first version before I painted over it, and I just completely forgot that it was there. So when I move the head down, you can still see it in the background. It's kind of funny. I then go on to fix the face up a little bit more, fill in any gaps that were missing, and then I fix those strands of hair that I was talking about earlier. Then I fix the lips a little bit more, fix the shading and lighting on them a little bit, and add some highlights. I then finally resize the fingers a little bit, make them a little thicker but shorter at the same time, and then I start fixing up the bottom of the hand, the palm. I give her other earring, and then add a bit more color variation to the sweater that she's wearing. I then add some highlights to the hair, just a few here and there, and then I decide to resize the eyes a little bit, since I made the head a bit bigger and they were just taking up way too much room on the face. They didn't really match the proportions, so I just decided to resize them and then shade in a little bit underneath to imply that there were, bags under her eyes. Just a little history on this OC, I guess, while it's finishing up. As I said, she's one of my first OCs I ever made. I didn't really have a plan for backstory or anything like that. I don't really know the first thing about character design. That's one of the things that I'm hoping to learn in the future and be more experienced in the future. The best I could come up with is that she was a streamer, hence the dark circles and colorful attire, I suppose. I didn't really have any much more than that. So if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. Be happy to read. Alrighty, so I'll be back whenever the repaint finishes. Hope you guys enjoy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's a little quick before and after. I would say if I could change anything else, it'd probably be the head shape. I just didn't want to mess with it too much. And the neck is still technically a little too long, but it's not that bad. Anyways, until next time, hope you guys have a great day.